Hi there, let's begin in a child's pose. With your knees as wide as comfortable, big toes together behind you. Walk your hands out long in front of you and rest your forehead and your chest down towards the mat. Let this be the place where you can completely settle in. So if at any point in today's practice, your mind starts wandering off the mat, or you feel overwhelmed in the physical postures, then remember that you can always drop down into child's pose to reset and reconnect. And then join back in whenever you're ready. So from here, let's make our way to downward facing dog. Rise up into a tabletop on your hands and knees. Curl your toes under and reach your hips high and back. Pedal out your legs and press your chest towards your thighs. And right away, let's set up a strong foundation through the hands. So fingers are fanned out wide and your whole hand is gripping into the mat so your arms are strong. Now take a walk to the top of your mat and hang out in a deep forward fold. Separate your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. A generous bend in your knees will allow you to fold even deeper. And you're welcome to just let your arms hang heavy. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. But you can also grab onto your elbows and sway side to side. Now release your elbows and toe heel your feet together to touch. Generous bend in your knees, tuck your chin, and slowly unroll all the way up to standing. Or Samasthitihi. Bring your hands together at heart center. Anchor your weight down evenly through your feet and stand tall through the crown of your head. Now let's turn on the Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi pranayama means victorious breath control. So to do so, just constrict the muscles in the back of your throat as if you were fogging up a mirror. If it helps, open up your mouth and pretend you were fogging up a mirror. Those are the muscles that you want to have engaged. And then close your mouth and continue breathing in and out through your nose with this slight constriction in the back of your throat. This will help you build internal heat and pace your breath throughout class. So with this Ujjayi breath turned on, find mountain pose. Reach your arms overhead and continue standing tall. Inhale. Exhale to forward fold. Hinge at your hips and lead with your heart as you come all the way down. A soft bend in your knees will help you fold deeper. Next is a halfway lift. Slide your hands up your shins and press your heart forward. Finding a long, flat back, so most people have to pull their shoulders back together behind them. Inhale. Exhale to fold, plant your hands and step your feet back into a high plank. Remember to use your strong hands gripping your mat. This will protect your wrists throughout the rest of practice. From your high plank, shift your weight forward 2 inches. And if this already feels very, very intense, then just lower your knees down to the mat for the modification. We're going to go down into low plank, so everybody lower down halfway until your elbows graze your ribs, then stop there. That's low plank. Oh gosh, it's intense. Let's move on. Upward facing dog. Lift up through your heart and flip to the tops of your feet. So your hands and the tops of your feet are the only things touching the mat. Roll your shoulders open and engage your legs. Big breath in. Exhale, send it back to downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, reach your hips high. That chaturanga, up dog, down dog, I'll refer to as a vinyasa from here on out. So it's your choice if you want to vinyasa through, if you want to modify, or if you just want to go straight to down dog. Listen to your body and let your intention guide you. From your down dog, let's flow. 1 breath, 1 movement. Use your Ujjayi breath control. Inhale, look up to your hands. Exhale, step your feet to touch at the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale to mountain pose, come all the way up. As you exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. One more halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga all on your exhale. Plant your hands, step your feet back, lower down halfway. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. To downward facing dog as you breathe out. And keep it going. Inhale, look up, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to mountain pose, come all the way up. Then forward fold as you exhale, come all the way down. One more halfway lift, find your flat back. Then chaturanga, high to low plank, elbows graze your ribs. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Fewer cues this time. Mountain pose, just follow your breath. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold and make your way back to down dog, however you'd like to get there. And when you're ready, reach your right leg high. Inhale. Exhale, step it through to a low lunge. Spin your back heel down and reach your arms overhead for warrior one. So square your hips off towards the top of your mat. And if it helps, take your hands to your hips, push your right hip back, and pull your left hip forward. Then reach your arms up as you drive through your back heel. Big breath in. As you breathe out, open up into warrior two. Arms reaching front and back, core is engaged. For reverse triangle, straighten out both legs as you reach your right arm high. Make sure you're not resting in a locked knee though. Have a micro bend in your right knee so your whole leg is engaged. Then keep your legs as they are and hinge from your hips to reach your right arm forward. Then lower your right arm down, left arm high for triangle pose. Use your core, now that it's all fired up, to carry you, to give you some lift in this posture. So it's not about reaching down and touching the ground. Instead, focus on having a nice long, flat back here. Lean back into your left shoulder. Core is strong so that you have that lift. 3, 2, 1. Inhale to rise, then take your hands to your hips and pivot your right toes parallel with your left so you're facing the side of your mat. Big inhale, puff up through your chest. Exhale to hinge at your hips and forward fold. You can use your hands to support you at the bottom. You can experiment with any other posture or variation of this posture for a few deep breaths. A trick here to get more hamstring flexibility from this posture is to shift your weight forward to the ball mounts of your feet so that your hips are over your ankles. Do that and you should feel more intensity in your hamstrings. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Hands to your hips, inhale to rise. And then settle into warrior two facing the top of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm reaches high. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down to the mat. Make your way to down dog, however you'd like to get there. Switching sides. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, step it through to a low lunge. Spin your back heel down and set up warrior one. And remember to keep your hips squared off to the top of your mat. So if it helps, use your hands to adjust your hips. Left hip back, right hip forward. The more you sink into your front leg, the more intense this posture will be. Inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Firm up your core. Then for reverse triangle, straighten out both legs and reach your left arm high. Make sure there's a tiny little bend in your left knee so the muscles around that knee are engaged. For triangle pose, hinge from your hips as you reach your left arm forward, then lower your left arm down and right arm high. Both sides of your waist are long here, so you're not crunching into your left waist. And lean back into your right shoulder, so your whole upper body is spiraling open and leaning back. Remember that there should be some lift in this posture. From here, inhale to rise. Take your hands to your hips, pivot your left toes parallel with your right, facing the side of your mat. This time, interlace your hands behind your lower back. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips and forward fold with a chest expansion. Just let your head hang heavy, let gravity take hold of your arms, and settle into a more static posture as you deepen your breath. And if you're feeling grounded here, try shifting some more weight to the ball mounts of your feet to open up your hamstrings. To come out, release your hands to your lower back, then inhale to rise. Exhale, settle into Warrior 2, facing the front of your mat, then reverse Warrior. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down to the mat and take a high plank and just hold. Fingers fanned out wide, gripping through your hands. Firm up your legs as you drive back through your heels and puff up between your shoulder blades. Neck is in line with the spine, breath is calm. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down to your belly. For low cobra, zip your legs and feet together and press the tops of your feet into the mat. With your hands planted underneath your shoulders, point your elbows up to the ceiling, even pinch them towards each other behind you. Then peel your chest up off the mat and see if you can get your hands to hover just a ½ inch above the mat. Neck is in line with your spine, so you're not crunching your neck to look up, just look out a couple of inches. Feel your breath bob your body into the mat for 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Lower your right ear down. Take your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Let your feet fall open. And observe the rise and fall of your back as you breathe. Draw your chin back to center, and either take another low cobra or join me for floor bow. Bend your knees and reach back to grab the outer edges of your feet. Make sure your knees don't splay open. Bring your knees back to hip distance. Then roll your shoulders open as you lift your chest up off the mat. Push your feet into your hands so that your whole body is working to create that bow in this pose. Find a gentle bob with your breath. Relax the muscles in your face. See if you can lift up just a little bit higher for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Lower your left ear down to the mat for your belly shavasana. Arms long by your sides, palms facing up. Let your feet fall open. Similar to a traditional shavasana, you're training your body to relax on command. So relax. Let everything go. Draw your chin back to center. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under behind you. And see if you can lift up into a plank all at once. Good job. Make your way back to downward facing dog. And from here, lower your hips down into a child's pose. Completely relax. Well done.